Today we're going to be talking about the home buying process start to finish. I'm going to be doing more of an overview because otherwise this video would be about 2 hours long, which I'm down for. I don't know if you guys are. Okay, so for anyone new to the channel, I'm a mortgage lender licensed in 48 states, and my team's one of the top purchase teams in America. So we see a lot of this. Okay, so what is step number one? Step number one, talk to a lender. Always talk to a lender. So I always have links in the videos. You guys can get on our calendar. You can ask any question. You know, that's the thing. A lot of times people think, oh, well, if I think I want to buy a house, I just have to apply or I have to get a realtor. Like, no, guys, there's this whole period before you're actually ready where you probably have questions. And sometimes you want to plan. Like, we get calls where people are like, hey, I want to buy in a year or 2 years. And we're like, okay, where are you at? What do we need to do? Like, let's get this going. You don't have to fill out an application to ask questions. And that's the first thing you guys have to know, because I think there's so much pressure around like the application, and sometimes you're just not ready and you just need to ask a couple questions like, hey, like I just got a second job, like can I use this income or whatever. So we always have a link to our calendar. Get on the calendar, it's free. I have 2 people hired all day long, licensed gals to help you guys answer questions. Okay, step one, so make sure you ask questions before you talk to a real estate agent and before you apply for a mortgage, okay? Let's say you're ready to apply. If you're like, cool, like I know I'm ready, Jen, great. Generally what you're gonna do is you're gonna select a lender, fill out an online application, and then the lender is gonna get you pre-approved. Now, depending on the lender you work with, either they're gonna do a crap job where they just give you a letter that doesn't tell you anything, doesn't talk about closing costs. They're gonna spend as little time as possible with you, and they're gonna tell you to go shopping, okay? That's a pretty standard, terrible experience in the mortgage industry. You know, what we do, and watch the other videos, guys, we get on the phone with you, we structure your loan, we get your loan fully underwritten by a real underwriter, so you're shopping with a loan commitment and not a piece of flaming trash. And then you and I spend 30 to 40 minutes on the phone going through what to expect with closing costs, you know, what to expect in the buying process, all that fun stuff, okay? Cool. So let's just say that you didn't go the route of despair over here, because you don't get a discount for this, guys. You're basically paying the same, sometimes more, to have this hideous experience, okay? Now, so you're fully pre-approved. Yay, you went here, woo. Okay. Now you're gonna go shopping with a real estate agent. So I generally advise people, like, do a lot of research, like a lot. Look at Google reviews, look at Zillow reviews, look at who's doing business. You know, we always say like, hey, if you need help, we're happy to help look at the data for you. We do not charge real estate agents a referral fee. We do that because we want you to win. You know, if you're working with me and I have you pre-approved, I want you with a real estate agent that's going to get you what you want. I don't want to waste your time, and I don't want to waste my time. And let's be super blunt. A crappy agent is going to waste both of our times, which is not what you and I want. No. So over here, sometimes what they do is they assign you a real estate agent, and they'll give you a little bit of money if you use that real estate agent. Guys, this is actually, there's like people going to the CFPB saying this is an issue, the Consumer Finance Protection Bureau. Because what's happening right now is there's mortgage companies and they are taking a portion of the real estate agent they recommend to you's commission, right? And they give you some and they keep some. Yeah. So they're making money off of sending you to that real estate agent. We don't do that. The reason we don't do that is because if you put your hands in people's pockets, right, the consumer gets the worst experience. That's true, because the real estate agent is less incentivized because they just gave up, in some cases, 40% of their paycheck just to get your number. 40%. And it's not even going all to you. It's going mostly to the company. Okay, so really watch out for that, because sometimes they're like, oh, well, they referred them, so they're really good. No, they referred them because they can take a cut of their commission, give you a little bit, and keep a big snatch. Look it up, it's a thing. Okay, so let's say that we're not gonna do that, right? Because you gotta think about it this way. What real estate agent is willing to give up 40% of their income? Like, are they the best? Probably not, probably not. So we're not doing that again. Okay, let's say you found a real estate agent and you love them and they're great and they have strong reviews and you did your research, okay? I'm gonna stress this again, you did research. A lot of times people will be like, oh, well, my dad recommended him. And I'm like, he hasn't done a deal since 1984. Like, we're doing this? And they're like, I didn't know. My dad just said he's great. In 1984, he was, I'm sure. But like, even if someone recommends someone to you, you need to do your research every single time. Okay, so step one, you got step one, you got your questions answered and you put together a game plan to buy a house. Step two, you got fully underwritten and approved. Step three, you researched and now you have a super agent. Step four, now you go shopping. That's right, I know. So many people think you go shopping and you find the house and then you find the realtor and the lender. No. Step four is when you go shopping because you're prepared now, guys. You know what you qualify for. You know what your closing costs are. The real estate agent you know is good. The real estate agent and the lender should have talked. So we all have a game plan. That's what you need, a game plan for success. This is a huge purchase. I don't care if it's $100,000 or $4 million, it is a huge purchase and it needs to be treated like that, okay? Cool. So now you're going shopping. This is when you go and you look at houses. Your agent's going to take you out. You're going to figure out what you like, what you don't like. I did a video a couple weeks ago about what does home mean to you, worth a watch. We have a worksheet for that. And you're going to start looking. Okay, you found the house. Oh my gosh, you love it. You love it. Great. Step five, write an offer. That's right. Once you find the house, you write an offer on the house. Okay. Let's say it's your lucky day and the seller accepts it. Now, sometimes people go, wait, Jen, do you write the offer, Jen? No. That's the real estate agent's job. It's the real estate agent's job to write the offer. The only exception would be like New York, where the attorneys are the ones that are really putting together that contract. Everywhere else, it's generally the real estate agent. It's not the lender. Okay, the lender deals with interest rates and the money. The real estate agent deals with the negotiation. So they're the one, if you're asking for closing costs, they would be putting that in the contract. They're the ones that are going to negotiate how long you have for inspections, appraisal, loan contingency, closing. They are the one putting together the way this legally binding contract is going to look. Once again, let's go back to why we're researching that agent. It is a legally binding contract they are filling out on your behalf. Okay, now look, I think you guys should be looking at this contract before you find a dream house, just so that you understand it before you're in the pressure cooker situation of signing. But that's going to be up to you and your agent, okay? Okay, so you wrote an offer and the seller accepted. Woo, now what? Well, now you're in escrow. And you're like, what does that even mean? It basically means you're in contract. In contract, in escrow, same difference. So that means all the clocks start ticking. Tick, 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 tick. So if you have a 30-day close, the minute that seller signs, that is when that clock starts ticking. Okay, so the clocks start ticking, you know, depending on the lender you're working with. We always order the appraisal day one. Sometimes people want to wait until after inspections. I am not a fan of that at all. The only time I think that's okay is if we're really concerned the house has issues, or if I look at the house and I'm like, that's not going to make it past inspections, like, let's hold off and see. The reason I don't like to wait is because in certain loans, you can't rush the appraisal. Also, no one ever wants to pay for a rush. So I think people don't understand that an appraiser is usually going to take, you know, conventional without a rush, 7 to 10 days. VA, 10 business days. You know, you can't even rush that. Conventional, if we need to do a rush, it's another $250. I don't have a lot of clients that want to pay for that. So ordering it day one eliminates that issue, okay? Also, people go, well, if the inspections are good, then I know I'll buy it. Well, what if the appraisal's bad? What if the appraisal comes in low? There's just as much risk with an appraisal as there is with an inspection in most cases if the house is in good condition. So we order the appraisal day one. In terms of inspections, that's something you're going to order with your real estate agent or on your own. You'll want to talk to your real estate agent about that, okay? So great. Appraisal is being ordered by your lender. The inspections you and the real estate agent have set up, Cool, you're gonna be reviewing the inspections with the real estate agent. Do not give your inspections to the lender unless we ask for them. Never give us anything we do not ask for. And the reason is, if you give us anything, we then have to underwrite it. And if, for instance, let's say you're doing a conventional loan and you give me a termite report, I'm gonna ask for clearance, which is not normal, but you gave me the report. So do not give me anything, or any lender, anything we don't ask for, okay? This is for your own protection. Okay, appraisal, inspections, you know, if you worked with this loser lender over here, they are now underwriting your file. If you're with me, we already did that. We're just, you know, it goes back to underwriting so they can be like, oh, it looks good. We like the title. The appraisal looks good. Good job. These guys are still trying to find your pay stubs. Okay, great. Okay, so what else are you doing during this time? Honestly, guys, it's just a lot of inspections and paperwork. You'll be nervous. Don't open up any new lines of credit. Don't buy a car. Don't play games with that. Lenders are monitoring your credit till the very end of the transaction, and we get alerts. And there's nothing I hate more than waking up and opening my email and seeing notifications that people have new lines of credit. Don't do it. It can screw up your transaction, okay? You're going to be getting a homeowner's insurance quote really early in the process. I suggest day 1 or day 2. Meaning the day 1 or day 2 you're in contract, get that quote. If you can get that quote when you're writing an offer, even better. Homeowners insurance is one of the biggest reasons deals blow up. Not with me, because we're stalkers about it, but there's a lot of lenders that don't pay attention to what's going on with premiums, and then you're getting towards the end and you find out, oh my God, my homeowner's insurance is $5,000 and I thought it'd be $800. I don't want the house. You're screwed. Okay, most of the time you would have already released your contingencies, so then they can keep your earnest money deposit. Okay, let's go back a minute. When you're in contract, you're generally going to have to get your earnest money deposit to the title company or escrow company within a couple days. Earnest money is like a sign of good faith. If you close, it goes towards your down payment or closing costs. If you don't have a down payment or closing costs, you would get it back. Okay, so you made it through. You're now clear to close. Okay, so clear to close means everything's done. It means that the lender's just getting ready to order the loan docs. When we order loan docs will depend on your close date. I have some loans where I'm clear to close within like 8 days, but we're not closing for another 20. So we just kind of sit there for, you know, a good chunk of time, just, you know, because there's nothing we can do, right? Unless everyone wants to close early, you could be clear to close really early, and then the lender's just sitting around not working on your file because there's nothing else for us to do. Okay, then we order loan docs, right? We've ordered loan docs. Great. Now you're going to sign them. Cool. You're going to close. Yay. You are now a homeowner. Okay, that is the broad overview of the steps from start to finish. Now look, there's little things during the process like underwriting, conditional approval. My process is different from that because I'm doing so much of it up front that I don't want to do a video about what I think is a broken way to do the process. I think underwriting a file, once it's in contract, it's not the way I would do my business. I try to do it before. The only time we underwrite from scratch is if someone is ditching their lender or they're having a problem with their lender and they're coming to us already in contract. So that's why I didn't want to go through that portion with you because I think it's antiquated. So look, I hope this has been helpful. The key things are this. Number one, make sure you ask your questions. Guys, it's okay to ask a lender to do a game plan with you. We do it all day long. Hop on the calendar. Number 2, when you're ready, let's get you fully pre-approved and fully underwritten. Don't deal with the trash can lender that doesn't want to work on your file. Number 3, okay, the real estate agent matters so much. I can't stress it enough. This is who's going to be negotiating your deal. So it's really important you pick a good real estate agent. Don't go for these agents that are giving up their paychecks to mortgage companies. Don't do it, guys. I think this is going to be outlawed real quick. It's toxic because here's the thing. You're the one paying for it, right? Like you're the one that's ultimately paying for all of this. Number 4, go shopping. Okay, it's step 4 that you go shopping. Number 5, get in contract, go through all the joys of that we talked about. Step 6 is close, and step 7 is you're finally home. So as always, thank you for watching. If you have questions, comments, if you want to get pre-approved, if you have questions, guys, I can't say it enough, get on the calendar. Seriously, literally, they will plan you out 3 years in advance. Like, take advantage of it. I designed this for you guys. Yeah, okay, thanks for watching, guys.